Hey guys, it's Rick. It is time to jump into the June review videos. So we're back to normal. I think we're going to do a video a week. May was a bit crazy that final week, but we're going to go back to doing a weekly video. I have 5 movies to talk about, 3 of which I physically have here, 2 of which I watched on streaming services. We're going to dive right in. The first couple movies I watched were what I like to call dude flicks. Movies that Bridget doesn't really have any interest in checking out. She went to visit her family for a couple days, so I had time to watch some movies. So the first thing here was Liam Neeson in Honest Thief. This came out in 2020, I believe. I believe this came out last year. Yep, 2020. It stars Liam Neeson. Lots of familiar faces in this one. Liam Neeson, Kate Walsh, Robert Patrick, Anthony Ramos, Jai Courtney, Jeffrey Donovan. This is your typical yearly Neeson movie, an action movie. He's just a regular bad guy, but he has a bit of a history, and he ends up, fighting off all these, not a regular bad guy. A guy, but he can fight off bad guys. Anyway. It started with Taken, and pretty much every year we get a Liam Neeson movie, whether it's The Commuter or Run All Night or Taken 2 or Taken 3 or what's the new one? The Marksman. So, Cold Pursuit, that's another one. But you expect an entertaining, violent movie, and you get it. They usually are rated PG-13, which is a bit of a bummer. I wish they were rated R when he did them. But yeah, it's one of those movies where typical character, this movie's right in the middle of the line. It's watchable, exactly what you want it to be and think it'll be. And the story was very, very predictable, like most of them. I kept expecting like twists and turns, and it just went straight ahead. So this was a 2.5 out of 5 for me. Nothing I would say to buy. It's definitely like a one-time watch movie. This won't be making the shelf. I'll be getting rid of this. So, Honest Thief here on Blu-ray. Like I said, not making the shelf. Watchable for sure. So this next movie, if it was just based on its video quality for its 4K, would totally make the shelf. It would probably be my demo disc to show people 4K. But I dislike this movie so much that I'm just going to get rid of it, honestly. I showed Bridget what it looked like on 4K, and she's like, oh, that's cool. And I was like, yeah, but the movie is such a bore, so I'm not keeping it. And that is the Ang Lee film from 2019, Gemini Man, which stars Will Smith, also Mary Elizabeth Winstead, as well as Will Smith. Computer digitally recreated. So I was curious about this movie. But like I said, this is one of the best 4Ks I've seen. The whole 120 frames a second really make this movie look fantastic on 4K. Like, mind-blowingly great. I really want to watch Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk because I know it was shot the same way by Ang Lee. And that one looks like it'll be an interesting film. So the movie is so boring. Like, I could not pay attention through large chunks of this because I was just losing interest. I was on my phone a lot. It was hard for me to get through, honestly. Basically, Will Smith's an aged assassin, and this company creates a clone of Will Smith, but as a younger person. Mary Elizabeth Winstead has this weird role in this movie where she's like attracted to Will Smith, and they kind of get like flirty vibes in parts, but she is definitely much younger than him. It just felt weird. Like I said, I was fighting sleep through this movie. Just didn't really do anything for me. This is not going to stay on my shelf, even though it looks fantastic. I'm not keeping this one. This is a 1.5 out of 5 for me. I just was not really a fan of the movie. There are a couple scenes that were awesome looking in 4K, but I lost the allure of that pretty quick. So, next up, we watched The Conjuring 2 on HBO Max. I had mentioned in my last review video that we were trying to watch the first 2, or I was trying to watch the first 2 so I could watch the third one with Bridget. She had seen the first 2. So I enjoyed The Conjuring 2. quite a bit. Not as much as the first one. I definitely think the first one is pretty, I'm going to say far superior for me. That classic like ghost story haunted house flick. I didn't think this one was as creepy either. I also got serious like Exorcist vibes from the parts of the second one, which we'll talk about when we talk about the third one, how there was multiple scenes or parts that were basically taken from other horror movies, which I don't know if it was playing homage to them or if it was just lazy directing in the third film. Not the second film, the third film. So the movie was enjoyable. Once again, Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga really carry these movies. The first one just genuinely creeped me out a lot more, and it's definitely the scariest of the three for me. Like I said, we'll talk more about the third one, I believe, in next week's review video, if I'm not mistaken. But the thing that was interesting about the second movie is it explored a lot of the Warrens' relationship and how important they are to each other in each other's life, not just for what they do for a job as paranormal investigators, but just like their love story and how much they mean to each other and their daughter means to them. That was the part of this movie that really grasped me. The scary stuff didn't really do it for me as much in the second film. I genuinely thought the first one was a lot creepier, but this is still a really good movie. I gave that a 3.5 out of 5, The Conjuring 2. The next movie was sent over to me from Lionsgate Home Entertainment to review, and I did a video where I talked about the video quality and unboxed it, and that is Chaos Walking, which stars Daisy Ridley and Tom Holland, also Mads Mikkelsen and David Oyelowo. So the thing that worried me going into this movie was it had been in development for like a decade. It had a bunch of rewrites. This movie was actually filmed in 2017 and it came out in 2021. They had reshoots due to poor test screenings in 2019. But the movie just was really messy. Basically, you're in a post-apocalyptic future, and every guy, their inner thoughts are out loud. So, and they call it noise, and it definitely is that. It's a bunch of noise. You get distracted by what's going on. Daisy Ridley lands there in some kind of weird ship. You cannot hear Daisy Ridley's thoughts. She's the only woman on this planet. All the other women are gone, or in this town. I guess it was a planet. And, for a movie with such an excellent cast, the editing and everything, it just didn't do it for me. It was only 109 minutes long, and I definitely found myself losing interest a few times in this movie. Trying to fight a sneeze. God, sorry. So yeah, Chaos Walking, not something I would highly recommend. It does look fantastic on 4K. I give this a 1.5 out of 5 personally. Like I said, probably not something that I would necessarily sit and watch. There are a bunch of bonus features, and I mentioned this in my unboxing video of this. I like that Lionsgate is putting their bonus features not only on the Blu-ray disc, but also on the 4K disc. This way you don't have to switch discs if you want to watch bonus features. I think that is a nice added bonus that Lionsgate is doing. The last movie we watched was on Hulu. It was one I was pretty excited about. I remembered reading a premise only, not seeing a trailer. And I was like, this looks like it'll be interesting. It was being directed by Natalie Morales, who was on... she was on Parks and Rec. She played Lucy, who was Tom's girlfriend. She's been on other shows. She was in Stuber. She played Batista's daughter. And she was directing. And it was basically the story. The movie is about two girls. It's an Indian girl and a Spanish girl, I believe, or Latina. Sorry. But anyway, two girls. They're a bit outside the box, nerdy. The Indian girl decides that she is going to let loose. She's going to try to get with the guy of her dreams. She has an unfortunate sexual encounter at a party with somebody that, it was awkward. And then she has a mishap. It's tough to talk about this movie and kind of keep it PG. Something happens the following morning, and her friend basically try to hunt down a Plan B pill for her. They're both 17 years old, and they're in like America's heartland. I think they're in Wyoming or South Dakota. So nobody wants to sell them Plan B because they're only 17. And this movie was great. It was so funny. It had a lot of heart to it. This might be a little biased, and I got very heavy Booksmart vibes from this movie in parts. So if you weren't a fan of Booksmart, you may not enjoy this. I know some of my friends thought Booksmart was awful. I personally loved Booksmart. I thought it was fantastic. And the two leads in this movie are really good. The star of this movie, the Indian girl, her name is, I believe it's Kuhu Verma, and she plays Sunny. Her mom's super strict, and you can tell she's like trying to let go and trying to enjoy life. Like I said, the first half of the movie, laugh out loud, hilarious. There are parts in this movie that I was cracking up. The second half also has laughs, but it's a lot more heart in the second half, which I appreciate. Lots of bonding for the two friends, and just a really fun, well done movie. I give it a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed Plan B. I highly recommend it if you have access to Hulu. It was I believe, a Hulu exclusive film, so we probably won't get a physical release of this. But if you have access to Hulu, I definitely recommend you check out Plan B. It is pretty fun. I give it a 4 out of 5. Like I said, I really enjoyed the movie. And that is it, guys. So thank you, as always, for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up if you did. If you didn't enjoy it, give it a thumbs down. That's fine. I can take it. I'm a man. Leave comments down below. Let me know what you guys thought of my reviews. Let me know what you guys have been watching recently. Also, be sure to check out the description box down below where you can find links to my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Letterboxd, where I rate and review all the movies I watch. My Blu-ray.com profile, my eBay store, Amazon wishlist, email address, P.O. box, all can be found down below. And that is it, guys. So as always, until next time, who's down to movie? I gotta go blow my nose, and that sneeze really messed me up. See ya.